Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 18th Commitments of Traders report of 2021, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. But before I start the review, if you are new to COT analysis, then do check out our website. We offer a lot of educational material, not only in written format, but we have some very useful videos for you as well. Okay, back to the review and starting off with our first market, the Brazilian Real. Here we have a 61% change in commercials positions. Huge change size, no question. It is the largest change in the past 52 weeks. As you can see, don't forget our table is organized so that commercials are on the left side, large speculators in the middle, and small speculators on the right side. And you can see here we have that 61% change, and we're talking about a 52 weeks look back period. So back to the chart, and here we have that huge change in traders positions. It is a bearish COT chain signal. So it suggests that after this strengthening that we've been witnessing for quite some time now, a couple weeks, we may see a bit of a decline early next week. Now, I must point out that these COT chain signals are not necessarily as accurate as one might think. They do influence the market in the near run, and you can see multiple examples of that if you go back in time. It is large, very large, so we may see some reaction in the market. I always advise to look at the wider perspective to see which way the trend is going. And you can see here on this 5 years chart that there's not much to tell from this COT Extreme that we're at right now. So you can see more or less the most bullish COT Extreme levels from 2019. We had some significant bearish extremes early on in 2017. So yeah, we're more or less in between those two levels. We'll see what happens. It's an interesting large change in the Brazilian Real. Moving on to our next market, Cocoa, where we have a 24% change in commercials positions. On this 1 year chart, here we go. You can see where that stands at. It's one of the larger changes. We've seen greater changes in the past, and of course, here we are talking about a bullish signal. Now, I must point out that we've already witnessed some strengthening in the market, so the signal itself could be a little bit late for us to act upon. The last time we had a similar change size or something similar and in the same direction was back over here in March. You can see that actually managed to halt this this decline that we've been in. It did push the market a bit higher. So this is a good example that these larger changes, sudden changes in the market do actually influence the market. I'm just saying you don't necessarily have to expect a sudden reaction like Monday when trading becomes available. Rough Rice is our next market, 22% change over there in commercials positions. And in this case, we are talking about a bearish COT change signal. You can see that on the chart over there, larger than average change size. Now, this is another example that, here we had a bearish change without any reaction from the market. I would say that the bullish COT change signal was effective just coming after we got that bottom over there, pushing the market a bit higher. Moving on to the 5 years chart. Here we go. You can see that we've, in the past couple of weeks, month, we've been moving away from these bearish COT Extreme levels. Not talking about anything, very large in sense of bullish extreme, like the ones we can see here in 2019. But nevertheless, it was relatively larger. Now we've moved away from those levels. So not much to dig out from this COT Extreme analysis, to be honest. I would say that, as you can see, although we had these significant bearish extremes in the market, nothing huge happened. So the market could stay at these price levels, and actually it's headed a bit higher as well. Of course, all this in relation to the US dollar. Never forget we are talking about commodities measured in the US dollar. So large speculator COT Extreme, let's have a look at that. We're going to jump over grains complex, but we're going to open the Minneapolis wheat, where we have a 360 report extreme in large speculators. So there's that extreme. it is unquestionably large. It is a bearish extreme, huge extreme. And of course, we are not surprised to see that after this steep incline in the market. Now we can go back and you can find from 2017 an example after having a significant price extreme, basically a dynamic move upwards. You can see that we witnessed that with a very large extreme in the COT data as well. So small speculators heavily optimistic, large speculators at an extreme or close to it, and commercial definitely there. We are at an even greater extreme right now. Okay, so I think this market becomes something that we should really focus our attention on. And there are opportunities here, no question about that. Now, of course, as I always say, especially for those of you who are new to COT analysis, that these all-time, close to all-time, or very large extremes don't mean that we should expect the market to tank right after. Of course, we're talking about a bearish extreme. These can be in place for many weeks or even a month before the market reacts. I'm just saying that the stress level is unquestionably large, and one should think about how to take advantage of that. Okay, next market, Canadian dollar. So here we have a 65 report extreme in large speculators positions. You can see that on the chart over there. Again, we're talking about a bearish COT extreme, but in comparison to the wheat market we just talked about, it's not as large. It is significant. I should point that out. But you can see on this 5-year chart an even greater extreme, which shows you that there is space left for the market to reach even greater extremes. So I'm not saying that the trend is over. It could continue for a few more weeks, and of course, if it does, I would expect traders to follow their path, meaning commercials increasing gradually their net short positions. Large speculators are probably going to be adding to their net long, and of course, small speculators following large speculators may actually be more and more optimistic about this Canadian dollar market, which in itself is a bearish signal, I should say. So interesting market here as well. And last but not least, we've got lumber with a 45 report extreme in large speculators positions. Interesting to see that we have moved away from relative bearish extreme. When I say relative, I mean compared to the last 1-2 years, because if you move even further back in time, for example, from 2018, early 2018, January 2018, we have that massive bearish extreme in the market. You know what, didn't really push it lower, so we had to wait multiple months before that actually happened. So we were still in that bearish extreme zone at that top, and you can see as that developed and the price cooled down a bit, you can see traders shifting their positions accordingly. Now that's not the case over here, which in itself suggests there could be even more strengthening expected in the lumber market, even though looking at the chart, one would expect it could halt in the next couple of weeks, month maybe. We'll see about that, but the report doesn't say anything about changes in the trend, that's for sure. So that was all for this review. Of course, this is a brief review showing you a very fast picture about what's going on, but there's definitely more to do here at COT Base. If you're interested in the Commitments of Traders report, we of course in these reviews show you a few market categories, but you have the ability to check all of them out. We also give you the option of analyzing the newest COT report types. You can analyze different data types, so if you're only interested in the futures data, if you want to analyze the futures and options, which we're doing in these reviews, then there you go. And we actually put together the system so that they can calculate the options only data as well, very unique only here at COT Base. If you want to analyze different data sets, that's something you can do. You can dig deeper in your analysis by adding these wonderful tools. And I should point out that if you're interested in a specific market, then you can analyze that wonderful over here at this page, so you can dig deep into the data, any specifics that you might be interested in. So large speculators long against the net positions, or anything that you want to check, it is available. And of course, all this in chart format. So not only a table format, but you can open the charts and analyze the data visually if you wanted to. So there's really a lot to do. And let me close off this review by telling you that we have actually put together the ICOT intraday indicator, which is really something unbelievably cool if you like the commitments of traders report, because this is something that is definitely useful if you're trading in a more short-term manner. So I'm not saying this is not data from the CFTC. We actually gathered it, and it's our own data, but it definitely helps you out if you are trading in the near term. It's something you might want to check out here at COT Base. We have, of course, a lot of example charts and videos too. So I appreciate your attention. Thank you very much for being with me. I hope you're going to have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you next week. Take care. Goodbye.